It's time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode of the Up North Journal podcast is brought to you by
PSE Archery, Yamaha Outboards, Better the Hunt, Easy Cut, Packer Max, Deer Camp Coffee, Buck Baits, JPO Game Calls, Limwalker Game Calls, Wild Seasoning, Total Peep, Sunrise Archery, Scent Lock, and Scent Blocker.
I'll do it.
Yes, you will.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal.
We are live on a Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we are. Oh, man. You should have heard the conversation about 30 seconds ago.
Right? It always leads to good things.
I'm going to start the show with a special little thing when we get rolling here, so you'll pick up on it pretty quick. It has to do with probably what I'm going to get up on a soapbox about tonight, so.
Right, yes you will.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Cracking me up tonight, I swear. It's good because I need that, I really do. It's kind of been one of those days, so to speak.
Right.
Okay, if I can get... No, that's not what I want. There we go. And I'm ready to rock. How about you, man?
Give me a second. Give me one more second. What's going on here?
You don't need a second.
What's...
I hope everybody's having a good week so far. You know, we're on a Wednesday night here. Special night just due to some travel issues that we got going. And tonight's show, I don't know if you caught the actual live stream of Danny earlier, but we'll explain kind of what's going on. We're going to take a little different direction tonight, so.
Yes, we are.
Let's see.
Let me refresh this page.
Waiting to see who's on the old live here.
There we are. Now does it come in?
I don't know, but I'm ready to get going here, man.
I know. Let me click a button. Click a button. See where we go.
All right. I'm going to click start. Here we go. Stand by. 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal, everybody. I'm host Mike Adams, sitting in the cabin tonight with Danny Red DeFaw.
We are on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
How you like this weather?
No.
A little chilly?
I'm not digging it, man.
Last week we were sweating, muggy, hot.
Yeah, not to mention that I'm in a mood tonight, and it doesn't start with G.
So, what he does in the meantime is he goes gets himself some fresh cold brew.
That's right. I'm going to be more jacked up than some Southern boys on Mountain Dew.
That's right. And you know what? We took a poll last week, and nobody wants to try the cold brew.
I don't understand that. I tell you what, I'm all about this stuff. Hey, Tammy, what's going on? Good to see that you're on the stream tonight. This stuff is starting to grow on me. I tell you, I'm liking it. It's going up north with me this week. I've got enough to take up north.
Excellent. That's a cool thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
But I will be taking the regular Deer Camp coffee with me.
It's gonna be a little warmer this weekend.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be wet.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, gotcha. You're gonna be kayaking, right?
We might be doing something else. I don't know. Your audio's on, I think.
Not me.
We're super staticky.
My audio's off.
You know, I don't know. Tammy, how are we sounding out there? Are we staticky?
Right?
So, I hope not. I'm tired of chasing audio problems, especially with the mood I'm in tonight. So.
You are in a mood.
So, but I tell you what, let's take care of some quick business.
Absolutely. You keep talking there about quick business, and let me get my menu up here where I forgot to get the quick business up.
All right. Well, let's start off first with our people who support us, and we want to mention Buck Baits. It's getting that time of year when you can start getting things ready for the woods and getting ready for deer season. I mean, bow season's less than 100 days away, I think.
Exactly.
So it's not going to, or it's going to be here before you know it. So make sure you get over to buckbaits.com, and if you use our Up North Journal promo code, you'll get 20% off your order down there. Are you ready to take over there yet, Danny? You're not.
I am.
You're okay.
I am. That's what, you know what? Like we talked about, we talked about the weather, cold. Well, folks, you got to start looking towards your fall food plots. What better way to do that than using the Packer Max? Get on over and talk to Lincoln Roan there at packermax.com. You can get $25 off your order by using the promo code UNJ25.
There you go.
And I tell you what.
Tell me what.
I'll tell you that you need your game calls.
All right.
And what better way is to check out jpogamecalls.com. Check out all the calls they got, whether it be for deer hunting season or maybe do some little coyote hunting. Use the promo code UNJ10. You will get 10% off your order over there.
And what can we use when we get said game?
Ooh. What you can use is an array of different seasonings that you got to try over at Wild Seasonings, wildseasonings.com exactly. And if you use the promo code UNJ2021, you can get 10% off your order when you check out. And we talked about it, the cold brew, even some hot brew. Deer Camp Coffee. That's right, folks. You want 10% off your order, use the promo code UNJ10. Get 10% off your order at deercampcoffee.com.
Right here. Got it in the cup tonight. I lost my slate. I'd have had it up there sooner, but I know where it's at. I've rearranged some stuff on the computer, so I didn't have the slate up there. But trust Danny what he said. Use that promo code. So
Mark Coleman says, having dinner, we'll be back in a few, and the fish are biting.
that's a good thing.
Right?
Gotta like that.
Absolutely.
Fish or buddy. And I like dinner too. So
All right, so
last week we
we
announced
that we were going to have Melissa on from Yamaha, and unfortunate things happen, and she's not able to join us tonight, so we have to go to plan B, C, D, and E.
have we got a show for you tonight.
Right.
Hey, Lincoln Roan, what's going on?
Exactly.
Speaking of Packer Max.
Speaking of Packer Max, the Lincoln Road is in the house. We have Lincoln Road is going to love this. I know it is because it's controversy. He loves that Facebook jail and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But it seems that trail cameras seem to be.
I like trail cameras.
You do like trail cameras. They're kind of neat. You can set them up in your backyard. You can set them up for hunting season. You can have them going all year round.
That's right. Hey, Eric, what's going on?
But you say Eric, and then I go ahead and almost call him out. But it seems Arizona has decided to ban them. Period. All cameras will be banned.
I've already had this whole discussion, and I'm saving most of it for this show. But go ahead and tell the good people who are watching and listening about this ban.
This was from Field and Stream. I picked up this article just 9 hours ago. And in their June 11th meeting, and this will take effect January 1st, 2022, basically what they have done is Arizona has decided that all trail cameras violate fair chase. And they are hitting the hunters with the country's first full cam ban.
And as we talked earlier, you actually told me that there's, 2 other states that have partial bans right now?
So there's 2 other states out there that have partial bans on game cameras that they're not allowed to
use during hunting season.
Yeah.
What states?
And those are out there. And I'm reading the article, folks, as we go here, so bear with me.
He didn't do his homework.
I did my homework, but I was trying to keep you off your soapbox. But yeah, so there's a couple other states out there, Nevada, and I know Nevada was one of them. But yeah,
Utah seemed like Utah. Utah was one, and right. Maybe Montana or Wyoming. I can't remember. No, there's 2 or 3. Anyway.
So,
go ahead.
With the ruling, Arizona becomes the first state to ban trail cameras statewide now, for hunters, not just during the season, pre and post rut scouting as well, basically year round, on public and private land.
So once again, the government's sticking their big toe into private land use, telling us what we can and can't have on our land.
They said that they posed an immediate threat to public health and safety.
Wait, that has nothing to do with fair chase.
Oh, well, hold on. It says right here.
But the headline is talking about fair chase is the reason they did this.
Right. Actually, it started last October. The process began last October when the governor approved an unscheduled emergency rulemaking period based on claims that the trail cameras posed an immediate threat to public health and safety because of conflicts over camera placement, including disagreements on social media.
So it's kind of like gun control. So the cameras are the ones at fault here. It's not the people that are being idiots. So instead of taking care of a problem that involves people and their actions, we're once again taking care of the inanimate object that actually is being used in said confrontations.
Well, it kind of, not going to lie here, folks. Yeah, Lincoln, what a load.
Yep.
You know, but it's kind of funny that they're making a ruling based
On a perception.
a perception of disagreements on social media.
Yeah.
So, isn't that just natural? If I don't like what you do and I object to what you do, I might say my piece, you say your piece, and
yeah, and then we're going to make everybody take their toys and go home.
what?
Once again.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Right? Now, you might say, wow, they banned it. What was going on? So, they received public comment about this. And there was 1,845 comments about it, with 1,019 opposing the ban. So their concerns were the trail cam technology may create an unfair advantage for hunters, competition and conflict between hunters at waterholes on public land. That doesn't say private land.
Kind of like when you put a tree stand up where there's confrontation there as well.
Right?
Or a ground blind.
But isn't, here in Michigan, if you're hunting on public land, isn't the courtesy rule of thumb is, oh, you're there first.
Yep.
Now, granted, you can have people that'll sit right next to you, too. I get it. But I was always taught, hey, there's somebody there, back off, find another spot.
Yeah. Right, Lincoln? Lincoln says, I wouldn't be shocked if the MDNR did this. Seriously.
Right? Well, this is kind of why I saw this article during the week, and I said, uh-oh. Because this just opens the door to...
The fair chase argument to me just doesn't hold any water. They're talking about hunter conflict, or the technology is progressing too fast. With today's technology, trail cams can send photographs to your phone, so guess what? You're not out in the field having to check said trail camera, interrupting somebody's hunt if you're on public land. We haven't even talked about private land use yet, but for the public land, so we're going to take trail cameras out. So, okay, if I've got a late season tag, and what am I going to do? Now that I can't use a trail camera, I'm going to scout. And let's talk about out west, because this is kind of where this is coming from. You got an early elk hunt, you got your mid-season elk hunt, and then you got your late season, whatever tag you draw. If I'm a mid or a late season, and they're worried about the guy going out and interrupting those early season hunters by checking a camera, like I said, probably most people are going to use that cell phone because the technology is getting so good and so cheap now. That in turn is going to put all of these people out scouting usually on the weekend when most guys are out hunting. You're going to have people tromping through the woods, scaring the game. So to me, it's going to have the opposite effect of what they think they're trying to stop.
Well, sometimes that helps you, though. Depending on how the situation works, having other people out there
moving the game around.
Obviously, right? So, okay, that's competition and conflict between hunters at Waterholes. Disturbing wildlife by frequent visits to set and check trail cameras.
So they're not going to disturb wildlife while they're out scouting. So they're not allowed to go out and scout in public land?
Nope. Other issues include disturbing livestock that are grazing on public lands.
Same thing with hunters. Hunters doing the same thing.
What if you go for a nature walk?
Yeah. So if I can go out with my dog and I can walk on state property and do whatever I need to do. Hey, I've got hunter's orange on. I'm being safe. I'm just out walking my dog. I'm not a hunter. I'm not bothering you.
Over in Port Huron, many years ago when I hunted over there, it was during season, and she would ride her horse
Right
on
through the
state
hunting.
land.
Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen it down in Brighton when I was hunting down in Brighton.
Okay.
Same thing. Horses come through.
She put orange on her horse. She was wearing orange.
They've got the right.
It's public land, exactly.
I've been turkey hunting over at the state park where you and I first started turkey hunting. I had people walk right through between me and the decoys.
There you go. I've had them walk up too.
Bird hunting, waterfowl hunting. People, coming through in kayaks and canoes and rowboats. Oh, look at all the flock of ducks there. Oh, wait, those aren't real. Oh, those guys are hunting. Same,
right?
You can't stop it on public land.
And last but not least, the taking of pictures of people without their permission.
That, with me working in the media, I know this law. Unless there's a direct law that says you can't do it, when you're on public property or in the public domain, you have to expect that people are going to be taking photographs, movies, etc. You have no right to privacy out in the public. That's in the.
You looked it up.
I looked it up. Yeah, that's in your constitutional rights as a broadcaster or as a person just taking photographs. You can take them of even private businesses, like if it's a tourist spot, things of that nature. There is no expected right of privacy on public land. So that doesn't even hold water.
Okay, so
I don't understand where this is coming from.
Right.
There's been no scientific data or research done to prove this.
Yep. So with this ban, Montana and Nevada are the two states that prohibit during the fall hunting season, and Utah is considering similar ruling.
Okay, Utah was similar. Okay.
So
if it's public land and they want to say, okay, we're not going to allow you to have them out there during hunting season because we're afraid you're going to bump other hunters, I could almost see that a little bit, but I don't see why year-round. What's the difference? Okay, they're talking about disturbing game, and other people out there not wanting their pictures taken. What's to stop me from taking and going on a nature walk and going, oh wow, there's a bear over there. I want to take a picture of him. I want to take a picture of that deer, that bird. There's bird watchers. They do the same thing.
Yes, they do.
What's the difference in a camera sticking on a tree versus this thing?
Right?
Other than the fact that I'm not there to man it, and I put it up and I put it on the tree, and as long as I'm not screwing it into the tree, if I'm just anchoring it to the tree with a strap, I'm not harming that tree. And let's take it to the private land use. I use them a lot on our property up north here in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, because we're doing land management. They are a great tool to understand what you have on your property as far as your farm recruitment rates. There's trail cam studies that you do to be able to understand what kind of the ratios you have of buck to does and be able to manage that land. It's a great tool to make sure that your resources that you have in your game are not over browsing or destroying your habitat. It's to keep things in check and balance. And now you're going to take that away from those people that have private land?
Well, what have you done also? By doing that, you've gone in, you've set your camera, and you've left. So for the next however long, if you have a cell camera, you're getting the pictures.
Right.
Or if maybe you come back in a month. You've actually left the game, actually all the nature game in the area alone.
Right.
You're actually out of the area just going, okay,
Letting it chill.
Yeah, letting it chill. You want to see you want to see it, and they're saying, well, that's no, that's not right.
Yeah, and Eric Dabbs brings up a great point. And actually, Danny and I talked about this before the show. Cameras on private land are nice security as well, and that's my point. So if I perceive that there's a problem, like say maybe I'm hunting close to a property line that maybe butts up to state land, and I've lost a couple tree stands in the past, but I don't want to give up that hunting spot because it's a great spot. You know what I'm saying? It's the go-to spot at a certain time of the season where bucks are traveling. And you want to put a camera up to see if you can catch somebody stealing your gear, making sure that you try to get that face recognized so you can turn it into the DNR. What's the difference between a trail camera and a security camera, and who's to say which is which?
Well, that's a very good question. And Lincoln Roan even says it here. He's kind of getting to the, they absolutely cannot tell you that you cannot put a camera out on your privately owned property. It's bad enough they think they can tell you can't feed wildlife.
Right.
The overreach is out of control today.
Absolutely. And the people that are making these decisions, 9 times out of 10, are not hunters. They're not outdoorsmen or women. They're bureaucrats who've been appointed to these positions. They have no business making decisions on game and wildlife and habitat when they don't understand it and they don't understand the science.
Exactly, and Eric Dabbs even says it may open up more trespassing and poaching on private land. Because there won't be any worry that... How many people have posted on Facebook that we've seen people walking in front of their cameras,
What do bans do? Bans usually create more problems when you ban something. Just like in certain cities where there are gun bans, they are not allowed to have a firearm or to be able to conceal carry. What happens then? Then all of a sudden, boom, when you take that away, you have crime that skyrockets. Just like you said, poaching is going to go up. And stealing of your tree stands and things that you've got out there. It's insane.
Well, in the city of Detroit, they've got that network of cameras at certain areas in the city.
Oh, but the government can put them up, though, right? And spy on us.
Ding, 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 ding. So, in this debate that they had on June 11th, they took public comment. Josiah Scott of the Arizona Sportsman Trail Camera Defense Fund made a point. He actually asked for data. Mm-hmm. Give me some data, because he said, everything I've heard here today is people's emotions. There's no science. It's feelings. Mm-hmm. Well, obviously, they don't want you fighting on social media.
Well, then they need to get rid of social media. That's right. Hey, if there's a problem with social media, then we need to ban that too.
He said,
Lincoln, I'll probably join you in Facebook jail for saying that.
Right? So Josiah said, hey, I've hunted Arizona for 53 years, have never had a significant threat or was afraid for my safety over a trail camera. You say someone is going to get hurt, somebody is going to get shot over a trail camera or a social media disagreement over trail cams. That is a lie. You are perpetuating words are not guns.
Yeah, they're just trying to add fuel to the fire on their side and use, like you said, an argument of feeling or perception of feeling better about oneself, of banning something. It's the same way with firearms. It doesn't make you safe. We want to make people feel safe. I hear it all the time. Whether it be a school, whether it be some kind of government institution, we want people to feel safe. Well, it's not about feeling safe, it's about being safe. There's a big difference between the two.
Right, exactly. And they considered other alternatives to a complete ban, such as maybe instituting distance restrictions around water sources, limiting cameras to certain species. I don't know how you do that.
Ron, you bring up a great point. Proposal G doesn't protect Michigan hunting like we thought it would. And that's a great point, back when we put that in.
Right.
Something's got to change.
Creating units for seasons for their use. Maybe take a county or something. Say, hey, none of that.
If you want to do like primitive hunts, okay, so no trail cams during primitive hunting. Okay, I can go along with that. Because you're promoting primitive style hunting.
Right.
I could see that.
Right. Establishing a camera registration and label system.
Oh my gosh! Now we're gonna have a camera registry.
Right? And by the end of it, they decided, you know what? We're just gonna ban it all.
Wow.
So, how are we doing on time for the segment?
We went way long.
So, if you want, let's take a break. We can come back and finish this up, and then we'll see if there's any questions out there.
All right. We'll step outside. We'll be right back after I dust off my soapbox. After
Right?
this.
Ron Moses, how is it going out in Colorado?
Lincoln says he's a repeat offender of Facebook jail. maybe he's one of those guys that are worried about out there is getting into it on Facebook. Actually, I think more people are attacking him than him attacking them.
Right?
I know that to be the case. Oh my!
There's Lincoln, our repeat offender. He is a repeat offender. I wonder in the halls of Facebook, do they have his
photograph up?
His photograph up with,
Kind of like the post office.
right?
Well, I was up in Newaygo here, back in the early spring. I didn't see any wanted posters up there.
Of Lincoln?
No, I don't think so. All right, here we go. Stand by. 3, 2, and 1. I need some more cold brew. Get me amped up a little more here.
Get you all amped up?
It's been a while since I had a good dust up.
It has. It really has.
I need these every now and then, so.
Yeah, it's this is one of those articles that you just kind of just, I don't even know what. I guess I'll say like Tammy did. OMG, really?
Well, they banned our bullets. They want to take away certain firearms. Now they're going to ban cameras. I know in certain states you're not allowed to hunt with on bow season an electronic device on your
sight.
bow.
Yeah.
It can't be a lighted sight. It can't be a lighted knock. Things of that nature. It's just where does it end?
Yeah, you know what? Exactly. It's
Next thing, rangefinders will be illegal to carry. Well, right now we can't use deer scent, state of Michigan.
well, yeah, they're working on that one, right?
Yeah.
So
Look for more on that later.
like you said, they're looking. They're as a hunter, you go out and you scout for your game anyways.
Absolutely.
When you do that is when you have free time.
Yeah.
If it's during somebody else's archery season or whatever their season,
do it
it's public land.
It's public land. You do it when you can do it.
You know, it just I'm having a hard time. It would be interesting. The one about registering your cameras would be pretty funny. I'm not.
And
gonna
Eric
lie.
says, yeah, and don't forget, in some states you can't hunt on Sunday still. Yeah. I think Pennsylvania is one of those states, if I remember right.
Right.
Has it some, and maybe, or is it West Virginia? I can't remember.
I think one of the Virginias just got Sunday allowed to hunt.
In turkey season, some states you can't hunt past 1 o'clock or noon, something like that.
Right? They do that a lot for turkey seasons.
Yeah, Tammy says, make it illegal and the problems will be solved. Yeah, that works spectacularly.
Right?
Nancy, hey, get out of my woods, right? Get off my river.
You know, I just
Oh, man.
well, get out of my woods. Exactly. Now, where does it stop after that?
You know what? I just saw something come up. I want to give a quick shout out to FM 123 up in Newberry. Speaking of the great woods of up north, let's kind of shift gears because I can beat this horse all night long.
I'm sure we'll come back to it.
So, what's going on in Newberry right now? We got to give him a quick shout out here.
All right, Newberry, where it is a balmy 78 degrees.
78 degrees.
Yeah.
I think it's warmer up there than it is down here, actually.
Oop. Let's go back to full size. There we go. It's a bit windy up there, and you know what? Deer Camp Coffee is served at
Cedars.
Cedars up there, where they have great pizza. So you got to get on up there, check it out. That's up in Newberry, Michigan.
And if you're up there, get you some Deer Camp coffee.
Absolutely. So, you know,
Cold brew.
right? So there you go. Check that out.
I got to get me a cold brew maker. You've got one. I want one.
We'll get you one. Don't worry.
Brew up some concoctions.
So yeah, I found that article this week, and I was like, really?
It's been a little bit too quiet lately. I mean, not that I want to see things like that, but I mean, you need things to kind of get you amped up and make sure that you're still engaged in the outdoors, make sure you're still engaged in the political scene, making sure we're fighting for our rights. When things kind of, it kind of scares me when things start to get a little quiet, because you wonder what's going on behind the scenes, what's coming down the pipe, how bad's it going to be. But when you're in the fight, you're amped up, you're passionate about it, because we care so much about it, especially, us outdoorsmen. It's not all about the kill. It's about preserving the outdoors for generations to come. So.
Right, exactly. Ron Moses gives us a compliment. It says, so far you guys are the only ones that actually call out the DNR. Some of the biggest voices in Michigan back down, besides Uncle Ted. He does that. And Ron Moses, who is out in Colorado, he went from 100 to 62 in the mountains.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good temperature swing.
Yeah, he's just.
But getting back to what he said about people not calling. You know what? I mean, why go lockstep? Working in the media, I feel it's our job to call certain things out. Not that all media organizations do that now. There's too much, and it's on the left and the right both. And I'm not getting political here. I keep it in the middle here. But the point is, we're supposed to be the watchdogs. And when I see something, and if I don't agree with it, I'm going to say it.
That's why I was taught to ask questions.
Yeah.
You were taught to ask questions.
Yeah.
Ask why. What's wrong with asking why?
Yeah. What's wrong with the trail camera? I've yet to see that article point out one thing that a trail camera does that causes issues.
Well, like the gentleman said, he says
where it needs to be banned.
Well, he says, Josiah of the Arizona Sportsman's Trail Camera Defense Fund. He says, give me...
Read that again.
The Arizona Sportsman's Trail Camera Defense Fund.
We got to have a defense fund now for trail cameras. Oh, my God.
Right? And he asked for it. He says, give me the data or science to back that up. If they had data that says the livestock or whatever they're claiming is happening, if they had data proving it, then put it up on the big screen. Go, here you go.
Right? There it is.
Right? And then you'd have an argument. But to say things that might happen or potentially... Do they have a DNR report of a conflict over a trail camera? Do you? You probably got more of stealing
trail cameras
than you do conflict over them.
Right. Absolutely.
Again,
that's the old adage of people that put trail cameras up on public land. They're like, well, we hate to say it, but you get what you get, because there's idiots out there that are going to take gear and steal gear, and you take that risk when you put a camera out.
You do,
even a tree stand or whatever,
Even on, I'm not gonna lie, even on private property.
We had a bunch of ours stole.
I had a two-man stand take a walk off our property.
I had a tree stand taken on one piece of property we used to have, but we also had, like I said, we had a bunch of cameras taken, and we found out why. It is because somebody was running dogs illegally at the wrong time of the year.
They were doing something against the law.
And actually, they got caught. We got our cameras back. But that's what it was, is they took them down because they knew they'd be caught. They didn't want their faces seen when their dogs were running through.
And Ron Moses has the 2021 Science Doesn't Matter. It's flat out attack on lifestyle of hunting.
It's attack of the lifestyle of anything that you don't agree with. According to that.
It's what they're saying that the commission has to consider the quality of a hunter's time in the field. Why do they have to consider it? What you do with your time of field, what I do with my time of field, that's totally up to me.
Exactly.
If you want to go and...
What about the bird watcher's time of field? He can't go out there and take pictures? He can't go out there on that land?
Exactly.
They're talking out of both sides of their mouth.
You know, he states that confrontations are only part of the problem. That's when he said about the quality of hunters' time afield. It's like, well, wait, why are you determining my quality? Just let me do what I want to do.
Within the law.
Exactly. And
all right, we've spent a half hour on this.
Man, the more you dive into it, the more
the worse it gets.
The more it just...
You know what, and I really feel bad for the people of Arizona that have to put up with this. You know, actually what we need to do is we got a buddy out there that works at PSCR.
We got a few of them out there that
actually got quite a few.
might have some input on that. So, matter of fact, we're probably going to have them on here. We're probably doing the next couple months before it's hunting season. Have them on.
Get their take on it.
We'll get their take on it. And it's one of those things. See, I don't know, but they talked about, I'm going to go back to the quality of time of field. But part of the quality of time of field was the kids grabbing the game cameras. Okay, where do you want to put it? And letting them decide to see what we can see. It was all, and we were out there. We were outdoors.
Yeah, but it's private land versus public land. So, all right, where are we going next?
Where are we going next? You, my friend.
I tell you what. We're halfway point of the show.
Okay.
Let's run this segment short. We'll go ahead and then we'll make up for the first one. And we'll step outside. We'll take our next break. And we'll be right back after this.
All right, folks. If you have any so-said questions about what we just talked about for the last half hour, feel free to chime on in. Because we know Lincoln is brewing. He's a stewing.
He's not cold brewing.
He's not.
Got no cold brew.
And, it just...
You know what? Out of the fridge. Go grab that bucket and bring it in here.
All right.
I'm going to refill.
All right. Let me try not to rip my computer off.
We'll send Danny for
a cold brew run?
A little coffee run here while I'm saving this segment off here. So give him a chore to do. Like I really need some more coffee right now. Oh, my. The things that make you go, in the outdoors. It's a never-ending saga of the things that we have to put up with. That's just the way it goes. And he's back.
Here you go, sir.
Thank you.
What I don't do to make Mr. Mike Adams happy.
You know what they're paying right now for waiters and waitresses? I heard in New York City that Wolfgang Puck actually offered $120,000 salary for waiter or waitresses to show up and work at his restaurant, and he can't get anybody.
That's not a big surprise.
That's a story for another podcast,
right?
One that involves the political side versus the outdoor side. Don't get me started. Okay.
Ron Moses is parked at a trailhead for bikes here in the mountains. Class 1 e-bikes are allowed, the sign says. The Vale Pass averages grades 3.5 to 15 max. Average 19 slope, degrees of slope.
Oh, e-bikes.
Yeah, e-bikes.
There's a lot of, I've got one out in the garage. I haven't used in a while, but I think an E1 is actually a 750 watt.
That's the
bike.
That's
the power that it generates. 750 watt power. It's how they rate it. It's not like this big electric generator or nothing, but there's different levels of the power they generate and how strong they are and how fast they go.
Right. So he's up at 11,000 feet and he says there's no air.
I was out there in 2008, and I wound up with a little bit of oxygen deprivation.
Absolutely.
I remember with altitude sickness.
Yes.
I had it 2 days. Matter of fact, the first day I had it was the second day in, and I was so sick I couldn't go hunting. I was puking my brains out. It's tough. The one thing I can say for guys who want to go out west, stay hydrated. That's the big thing is drink water, drink water, drink water, drink water.
Right.
It helps.
You go out there and, and especially out there, it's just...
I had massive headache. I mean, it was a migraine that would not quit.
Really?
All right. You ready?
I will be in just a second. You can
3, 2, and 1, and I'm going on.
There you go.
Welcome back. Third segment of the show. I take it we're talking about. What do you got up there? Where are we going?
We're
Dead silence?
yeah, that's dead silence. I mean, like I'm waiting for my page to update.
What are we going to talk about?
What we're going to do is we're going to show something on the screen here that Up North Journal is. There we go.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
All right.
So I got to just have my page load.
While he's doing that and getting it ready, we have officially become a supporter for the first time of a race team. The Up North Journal is a supporter. We got our decals on a race car.
Absolutely. We are proud sponsors of the number 6 goat kart of JP Racing.
Out of Lansing?
Out of Lansing. And he is, the racer is Joseph Jr. He will be 6 in July 7th.
This cart belongs to a 5-year-old kid.
That belongs to a 5-year-old kid. And
So in about 15 years, we can expect him on the NASCAR circuit?
well, actually, I'm thinking more like F1.
Oh, okay.
So
So there you go, folks. We're sponsoring
we're sponsoring a race car.
or supporting a race car.
There you go. Absolutely.
Well, however you want to call it. So has he won races yet? Are we spending our decals wisely?
We are.
Okay.
He hasn't won though. He's learning. He's moving up. He is racing the likes of the Roushes.
Bumping elbows with the Roush team, huh?
Yes.
Seriously?
So, seriously, he is the Roush grandkids are out there, I guess, with him.
Full race suits, stacks of tires.
Right. Yeah, no doubt about it.
They got backup carts in case they crash one
Right.
off the back of the hauler or the trailer.
Amen to that. So
Okay, so I see what you got up here.
Yes.
Pop, can you make that full screen at all? If you could, please. If you remember, guys, a couple weeks back, I was talking about a kayaking trip that actually. Oh, here, let me just put that up there. If you
Hold
pop
on.
it full screen, go ahead.
I'm trying to find the first picture.
And we were on the Chippewa
I'll
River.
go here. I'll make that the first picture. Oh, that's full screen right there.
My girlfriend and I and another gentleman went out on the river, and we spent 5-6 hours. We canoed about 6 miles. And if you remember, I was talking, and we wound up coming across probably 50 to 100, maybe even more, of dead suckers, a fish. You know, that was the only species that we saw that was actually dead, either floating in the water or on the bottom of the river there. So, and we were wondering, like, you know, what's caused this problem? Is it species specific?
If I remember right, this is not a very deep
No.
overall.
No, we got hung
Okay.
up quite a few times actually while we were paddling, going down the river, you know. And anyway, long story short, you know, we were wondering, and my girlfriend Nancy actually sent me a link to another show, a radio show here in Michigan, and people were commenting on it about that particular river and the fish kill and what was going on. And somebody actually had posted on that thread and said, in that river 2 weeks prior or a week prior to when we were there, that the DNR had actually dumped a bunch of poison in the river due to a suspected invasion of sea lamprey.
Oh.
So they actually dumped some poison in, and they said that poison sucks the oxygen out of the water, basically pushing the lamprey, killing the lamprey and pushing them out of the river. It also does that to the wildlife, or the fish.
Well, yeah, because they need to. Okay.
You know, but we saw some fish in there, not a lot, but we saw some fish that had survived it, and a bunch of minnows as well.
Okay, so basically, however they do that, it's probably the immediate in that general area.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. So it must dilute itself through the water.
Oh, did I say canoe? She says kayak, not canoe. See, I'm still jacked up on my cold brew here.
Right.
But yeah, we were kayaking, and there was what I perceived to be an overabundance of dead fish. And if I remember correctly, the person who posted that was also kayaking and mentioned the same thing, that they had seen some, and then they had seen the DNR dumping the
Right,
poisonous.
because we have that naturally occurring as we come out of when we have ice. When some lakes get all that oxygen sucked out, you'll have a winter fish kill.
Right.
So, but well, it's good that they're going after the lampreys and getting those out of the.
And that's like right. I mean, right by Central Michigan University. I mean, that's the Chippewa River. That's the nickname of the college is the Chippewas. I find it. I was shocked that sea lampreys were that far
Inland
on these rivers. That they've actually got that far up. I actually caught a sea lamprey on some bait in the Sheboygan River.
Really?
Right downtown Sheboygan, yeah. This was on a Memorial Day trip up north to Mackinac with the kids, like 15 years ago.
Really?
10 years ago. 10, 15 years.
You purposely trying to catch it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, reeling in, like, whoa, got something, reeled in. And,
Really?
he had latched onto whatever we were using for bait and, got it loose and let it there on the grass. But, when you hang on to it and you pick it up, the head of that thing where the mouth is, the sucker part, and then it would latch on with the teeth and take a chunk of you. It was hard for me to, like, hold it. It was like, you ever tried to hold, like, a gyro?
Yeah.
And it fights against you?
And it's actually trying to latch on to something.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So,
wow.
And it was, I don't know, probably 1.5 feet long. Inch and a half around.
You see pictures of people posting fish that they've caught that they've got the scars from.
Right.
That.
As soon as they snag is a dog, it's poison time. I got you.
Right. It's.
So that's what they're doing.
See, Nancy said that too. People wade in that water all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's people swimming.
Man, and you thought leeches might be bad hooking on you.
Yeah, I've had that problem too.
Oh, I know. I've had leeches on me. I've had that happen to me. But imagine it's
the waters of Michigan have critters that you don't even know about.
right. Exactly. Wow. So
But that's what it was. Yeah.
So they were trying to go after the lampreys. That's kind of cool.
Yep.
Cool. But you're heading up north this week.
Yep.
And we talked about a couple of weeks ago. We talked about boating safety with Hunter Bland, and we always talk about hunting safety, bow safety, hunting safety, tree stand safety. What about your travel trailer safety?
Yeah. Well, as you well know, 2 years ago, we had some stuff fly off of a truck in front of me, go through my windshield, and nearly take my head off.
I had something fly out of a boat. Luckily, it was a plastic dustpan and disintegrated on my windshield. And we see on 75 a lot of times in the median or off into the giggly weeds, the remnants of a trailer.
Yeah, remnants of a trailer or other parts off of trucks and cars or things they're hauling. But yeah, I've been thinking a little bit this week. I joined this forum about travel trailers and specifically the one that we've got. And you start reading things and you hear the horror stories. You hear the good stories too, but those are the ones that stick in your mind. And it got me to thinking. I was it's a couple weeks ago. I think we were coming back from our last camping trip, and when I parked the trailer, I told Nancy, I said, I really need to check the tire pressure on these tires, because that trailer's probably got 600 to 800 miles on it. And you wonder, do things come loose? How are things running? Even though it's fairly new, it's only 2 years old, 2.5 years old. You wonder about those things. And, to me, it looked like the tire might be a little bit low. So before we take off, I'm going to check the tire pressure. But if you remember, was it 2 years ago? We were doing the series following Tread on his Get Off the Couch tour.
Absolutely.
To Alaska.
We talked about this pre-show, and I was like, you're right. This is exactly, remember, we went, saw where they built the trailer, they slapped on the brand new tires.
Yep. And it was less than 3,000 or 4,000 miles. He had a severe blowout, didn't he?
He had a severe blowout, and all 4 tires
were worn to nothing.
Were pretty much crap, politely we say.
Yeah.
He said a lot more. But yeah, and he's like, this is a brand new trailer, and I got to put new
40 new tires on it.
Right. So.
Well, in the forum, that's what I'm reading. You know, a lot of people that are buying campers these days, RVs, what have you, they don't come with the best tires on them. I mean, obviously, you pay a lot of money for this stuff, and you wonder what kind of gear they're putting on it, but these tires are not lasting very long. In the end, they're saying this, you know, a lot of people. So a lot of people, as soon as they buy them, I was reading the forum, are actually pulling the brand new tires off, getting rid of them, and putting brand new ones on. You know, there's something that's going to last and be a little more roadworthy. And a lot of people are even saying that they even pull better, or they don't get that, like when you get into a camper on a new, you feel that bounce as you're walking in it.
Right.
They say it's because the sidewalls aren't as thick on those tires as they are on a good tire.
That's an interesting thing.
And they're saying a lot of these tires are coming from a country that a lot of people believe give us coronavirus.
Right, exactly. Well, that's,
You can figure that
that's
one
a whole
out.
nother story.
Right.
But that goes for regular utility trailers too. Now, the difference is, I know Lincoln, and I know I've ran into this problem, but like you said, making sure the tire pressure, because I left home, but when I loaded up, you know, I saw, oops, I need to put some air in those things. But yeah, you're right, Ron Moses. If you let them sit for a long time, they do get dry rot.
Yeah, that too. You're not supposed to let them sit with direct contact on the ground when you store them over the winter.
Exactly. So after you coming out of the winter, you got to inspect your tires.
Yep. Well, and you know the other part of it that goes with it is they said do an axle or a bearing inspection right out of the factory. A lot of people are finding out that they're not packed correctly, they don't have enough grease in them, and all of a sudden you've got a hub that welds itself together while you're on the road, causing an accident or basically flat spotting your tire as you get pulled over to the side of the road when it actually welds together and stops. So.
Right, exactly. And then obviously the first thing you do is you walk around your rig to ensure that everything is safe, especially if you've got slide outs.
Yep.
Make sure you slide them in.
Yep. We've heard of stories of that. People going down the road with a slide out actually out.
Right.
So, but no, it's just like at work when I drive the truck at work. We have to do safety inspection on everything before we actually take off, and I'm generally pretty good about that. Even with the trailers, you know, plug them in, make sure all the lights are working, check my tires, you know, check the lug nuts, make sure that those are tight. But you know, they're even talking about bearings and packing bearings more frequently than you know you would actually think. They also said pay very close attention to the type of grease you use. You use what's already in there, because if you start mixing greases, types of greases that don't belong together, it can actually cause more problems than not doing it.
Oh,
so
absolutely, because the consistency or the makeup of one grease over the other grease could cause.
Yeah, I think lithium, non-lithium, chemicals that don't interact well with each other. So, yeah, it's just these forums on Facebook. The more I'm reading and seeing things that are happening, it just starts making me think a little more critically of the gear that I'm using and doing stuff with. So.
Well, your number one fan says that is why I will continue to pull the kayaks and drive separately.
And I check that trailer before we leave as well.
And Ron Moses says that his wife does the same thing. Pulls the kayaks and drives separately.
Yeah, well, I mean, I drive slow with mine. That's one thing about pulling mine with a Jeep. That's the other thing, making sure you don't pull something that's too heavy for your vehicle. You know, whether it be a boat, whether it be an RV or a snowmobile trailer, know the towing capacity of your vehicle and know what kind of hitch you've got on. Make sure you've got the right size hitch or class of hitch. You can't be too safe, and that's the thing, is I don't go just booking down the road 90 miles an hour. You know, I drive relatively slow with that thing to make sure that we get there safely. So.
See, Ron has seen a few Jeeps with trailers in the ditch when he's seen that.
Well,
I've seen it. I've seen it all.
Yeah, and the thing with mine, it took me a long time to find a trailer that was light enough that I could actually pull with the Jeep.
Correct.
You know, I did a lot of research on the capacity, the towing capacity of that thing, the hitch that was on it, and what I needed, and you just can't go out and buy something. Matter of fact, when I went and picked that up, they would not let me drive away from the dealership with that trailer unless I had a vehicle that was capable of towing it weight capacity and hitch and everything.
And that's awesome. I like that.
You know, and running with trailer brakes. And and that's another thing. Make sure test your brakes before you leave.
And now Nancy is about ready to bring the tent because you have her in a death trap.
She don't have to worry about long as she's either in front of me or behind me, ways behind me. So.
Right? Ron Moses, he knows this better than anybody because he is a long haul trucker. That weight distribution is very important.
Yep, and and that's the other thing. You're talking about loading, whether it be a boat, putting gear in your boat, or on a snowmobile trailer, enclosed trailer, you're hauling whatever. You can't load too heavy on the tongue, you can't load too heavy on the back. It's got to be distributed. They told us 60-40 on a trailer when we start loading things, and don't go over that limit.
Exactly, and he gives you some advice. He says a cooler is too heavy for a Jeep.
Come on, man.
Must be a Jeep thing.
Come on, man.
But absolutely, especially if you're, in his case too, in any case, how far you're going with that trailer. And
good point, Eric. Talking about hitch stabilizers, sway bars. We've got them on ours as well. Highly recommend that along with trailer brakes.
Absolutely.
It's like I said, it's not just campers. I mean, although every year we see 2 or 3 of them blown apart on the side of the highway. But I see a lot of boat trailers this time of year with a hub pulled off it, because that backing them in and out of the water, it takes a toll on the grease and on the bearings. You got to pack them things regularly as well.
Yep.
And for goodness sakes, when you're hauling stuff, make sure stuff is tied down inside, especially in the boats. Like you said,
right.
Stuff come flying out of a boat.
Yeah, that was the most. That just happened right after your incident.
So
that was like slow-mo, but then it went into a billion pieces. But yeah, and isn't it amazing when you're pulling a trailer? Don't you feel like a magnet? People want to just become cutting you off or pushing the brakes right in front of you.
Pull in front of you and then hit the brakes.
I know, right?
I know Ron Moses has seen that 100 times a day.
All those big tractor trailers just cut right in front of them. They'll stop.
Yeah, what I want to do is pull in front of a tractor trailer fully loaded, running down the highway at 70, and pull in front of them and hit my brakes.
Right? It's like, really? You think that's a smart move?
No.
No. Well, you gotta wonder what the person is thinking doing that in front of a person pulling anything.
Well, it just goes to show you, this time of year, people are excited to get outside. They don't think. They're in a hurry to get wherever they're wanting to go, whether it's to up north, what have you. We see it all the time.
Exactly.
Slow down a little.
My cousin, who pulls a 29-footer, same thing. Gets out, he's in the right-hand lane, just cruising, and he's got people jamming on the brakes in front of him.
Wow. Ron just said he saw a U-Haul on top of a Jersey barrier in Denver. It was a Jeep. Thanks. You're instilling a lot of confidence in me tonight, Ron. Come on, man.
Right? Like he says, every day that happens to him.
It does.
So word of the wise, folks. Get out there.
Check your gear up before you hit the road.
Gear. And Lincoln Roan, I think, has run into this as well, because he's pulling his trailer with his Packer Maxes all around. I know he went off to Wisconsin, I think, last time I saw. It's just...
Slow it down.
Makes you shake your head.
All right. Last break here. We're going to step outside. We'll be right back after this. Y'all stay tuned. All right.
Last segment of the show. Got any questions? Throw them at us.
What you going to talk about this time? I'm kind of leaving this all up to Danny tonight.
Right.
We're just kind of winging it here, so. Just talking about some general stuff that we all need to be aware of here and things we forget.
Absolutely.
You let me know when you're ready over there.
There we go.
All right. Nope. No, go on past those.
All right.
Keep going.
It was in this block, right?
No, it wasn't.
This block.
No. Go down. Other way. I told you wrong. Keep going. Nope. That one. I got to direct him here, folks. Here we go. Stand by. 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back. Last segment of the show. We got Danny on track. Got some pictures to show.
Was this Sunday?
This was Saturday. Actually, I'm just going to let you,
Saturday before the Sunday, we had the big rain. Sunday, okay. Yep.
the day before Father's Day.
Right.
Did you have a good Father's Day?
I did have a good Father's Day. I was taken out to lunch, and then I went and we did our annual Father's Day putt-putt, and I retained my
Championship? In other words, they let him win again this year.
I'm telling you.
You let Dad
There
win.
is no letting in putt-putt. You got to go full out.
Oh, he goes full out. They let him win.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
It's just the way it is. Come on, man. Tell the truth.
It's the truth.
All
There's
right.
no letting. So you went out Saturday evening.
Well, we went out Saturday morning. Just kind of back up just a little bit. We took grandkids out, the two oldest, almost 5 and almost 3. We took them out. Nancy and I took them out for their first kayak trip. We hit a river that was extremely shallow, about a foot and a half deep, the whole way. But we got them out on the water.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was the day. That was Saturday before Father's Day.
Okay.
And we got to about 20 minutes before the end where we were going to take out at, and the rain hit. And so the umbrella, we only had one, and of course Nancy had it, so she put it over baby girl.
Right.
So it looked like, we were in Venice, where you got the little gondola and they're carrying the little parasails and stuff. It was really cute. So, but anyway, before we got to the end, she fell asleep.
Really?
Baby girl,
she
not,
fell asleep
yeah,
in the
baby
kayak.
girl, not Nancy. So, so then the umbrella got passed over to Ben, my grandson, and he carried the rest of the way in. So, but afterwards, kids went home, whatever, and we're sitting there, and I'm like, the wind direction's just about right. I said, what do you think about going and hitting the bay, the big water? And we went out to catch the sunset on the big water.
And the sunset you did catch.
Oh, it was beautiful out. I mean,
Well, look how calm the water is.
it was. We're fairly close to shore here, but we first went out at about 7 in the evening. We were out there, probably a good half mile offshore.
Okay.
A lot further than these were, the pictures here. But yeah, it was fabulous. It was just beautiful out there. And we pretty much had that whole little area to ourselves. And we paddled up river or over to Saginaw River and went up the river. And she took me over to this old lighthouse that they're renovating. It was really cool, and got some cool pictures over there. As a matter of fact, it was so creepy looking. It would have made a great place for our horror film.
Oh, nice. What are these in the water?
Those are ducks.
Okay, those were ducks.
Yep, way off there in the distance. Yep. So, yeah, we got some good photos.
Absolutely.
Had a good time, and that was my first trip out on the big water. So.
Oh, the family of ducks.
Yeah, it was all good. So, had a good time.
And there you are, catching the sun.
I'm trying to hold the sun up so we can enjoy the sunset just a little bit longer.
Is that what it was? You're trying to hold it up?
Yeah.
How'd that work out for you?
I burned my hand.
Right.
No, I had a great time. And, being new to big water kayaking, I mean, I was, a little apprehensive at first, but once I got settled, it was nice, and had all the safety gear and everything. And since we're talking about safety, make sure you have your PFDs. Make sure you have any gear that you think you might need. We had cell phones with us, obviously.
Right.
She had a first aid kit in her boat, or her kayak, And the one thing is the evening kind of went on, and I didn't think anything about it, but we've talked a lot about it this week. Is, the sun's starting to set, and she's like, we're going to have to get going pretty soon. I'm like, I just want to catch it just when it hits the horizon, By the time we got back to the little boat launch where we put in at, it was dusky dark.
Pretty dark?
And it's like, we probably should have lights with us. Number one, to be legal on the water. I don't know. It's not a motorboat, so I don't know the specific law here in Michigan. So I've got to read up on that. But just for safety purposes of going down, down a river or out on the bay, either one. You need to be lit up to where other boaters can see you.
Exactly.
Because obviously we don't move as fast as a motorboat. So along with that, I learned some things. So.
And Nancy says, wait till we do the bridge.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things. It's just, you get out there, like you said, it gets dark. It gets dark on the water.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the bridge, she's already kayaked across the Straits of Mackinac. And she would like to go from St. Ignace to Mackinac Island.
Okay.
And we're using 14.5-foot kayaks.
Yep.
And we just read online this week, somebody went from St. Ignace to Mackinac Island in a small 10-foot kayak.
10-1?
A recreational
Yeah.
kayak. And it's like, you know, what are you thinking? You need the bigger boat for the bigger water. You know?
Well, it kind of goes hand in hand there, right? Big water, big boat.
You know, and we've been talking a lot about marine radios. We've got bilge pumps with us, handheld bilge pumps in case you do take on water. You know, the bigger boats, you get a spray skirt, so water splashes. You take a bow wash, it doesn't fill your boat full of water.
Right.
It rolls off. You know, a wetsuit or dry suit. You know, there's all these things that I'm learning about, and she's teaching me. That's the one thing. Hopefully this week when we go up, we're going to be on some inland lakes. You know, and get some more experience in the bigger waters. You know, and the other thing about the kayaks that we're using is we've got rudders on them that are foot controlled. So you've got a lot more steerability, so you can point, you know, and crack the waves in the right position versus getting them rolling over.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying? You can orient yourself in the right way before you get in some serious trouble. So.
And a flare gun.
Flare gun, yep.
And what about the current?
The current
up on the bridge is going to be kind of interesting.
She's already done this trip, the bridge trip, and that's one thing we've talked about as well, is how that current runs there. And at the bridge, you get mixing current, so it's like a washing machine.
Yep.
You got to know, you know, that's why number one, you go on calm days and know which way the wind's coming from and know what the weather is before you even venture out. So there's a lot of trip planning, and that's the one thing I'm really learning. So, but I'm growing in baby steps. So
that's how you do it, right?
Yeah.
You know, flare gun, got it.
Yeah, it's just certain.
Well, if she ever gets ticked off at you, you're gonna be running from a flare gun.
Yeah.
I see how that works. But yeah, no, you know, big water is a whole different ballgame than a lake.
It's no different than pulling a trailer or gear with a vehicle that's the right size.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
know the limitations of what you're using and don't exceed those limitations to put yourself in harm's way. And be prepared. Just like this one thing I did this week, I took tools and I've put a kit together. I'm putting tools in the camper. You know, I keep saying, I need a toolkit. Because you never know what you're going to run to, and you have to fix while you're at the campsite or what have you. So I've got a full set of wrenches, pliers, screwdrivers, the whole 9 yards. You know, metric and standard, so that way if we have some small repair we need to do, I can do it.
That's why I take a regular jack, a floor jack with me when I go up north.
And that's something I'm undecided on yet as to what I'm going to do. I've got the one that came with the Jeep. I don't have a jack yet, but I got to thinking, this worst case scenario, if I have a tire that needs changing on the camper, I can run the jack stands down and put I got blocks that go underneath them. I can put them on the side that I need to change and run those jacks down and get it up to where I can change a tire.
Right, exactly.
Worst case scenario.
Right, exactly. You can do that, and it just, for me, it's easier just to get out the floor jack and throw it in the trailer, and it's going with me.
There you go.
It's just.
I don't want a floor jack rolling around smashing things inside the camper.
No, I tie mine down. I use a bungee cord, tie it to the side, and it's good to go. So, and Ron Moses is going to live through you on your adventures, obviously.
How's that?
Because he says, I'll live through you guys.
Oh, he needs gas.
And he needs gas.
He's got to stop and get some fuel.
Right, he does.
So, hey, Ron, while you're out there, type in real quick, what's the price of fuel out there? Regular, unleaded, in the area you're in. He said he's in Colorado, right?
Yeah, he's out at Colorado.
$2.95 for regular unleaded tonight. I got it for.
There you go.
I've been shopping.
Right.
So, I guess the moral of the show tonight is, summer's here. It's upon us. Let's go have some fun, but let's be safe doing it. That's all we really wanted to get across tonight. We've kind of been talking a little bit of safety here in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, talk about.
Hunter
You can never talk enough about safety.
Yeah,
It started well. Look up at TAC. Some jackwagon was
shooting behind
the
us.
shooting line, shooting at the kids' target.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. They should have had a. I don't know. I thought they do, but I don't know if they
Had a
have
range master
range masters. But I don't know if they do actually. I know they got them down where they're
doing
the shoot,
the fun shoot or
the win the truck shoot.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they have a person that actually is eyeing the situation.
Well, they didn't that day we were there.
Well,
Because that guy was behind us and shooting behind it. He was a good 10 yards behind the whole line shooting.
Yeah, he was. 280 a gallon.
280. Yeah, it's not bad.
No,
compared to what it is here in Michigan, anyway.
But so I seen JPO game calls. He had a treble hook in his finger. Safety. Whether you're out on the water, up a tree, doing something, think safety first.
Because things are going to happen.
That's one thing at my company that I work for. We have a safety message every day now, and whether it be from bee stings to crush zones in the plant,
right?
Everything in between. It's all about safety.
Well, even a bee sting can kill you if you're allergic to it. You don't have an EpiPen.
Absolutely. So that's one of those things, and that just kind of resonates back home. Now I wear hearing protection when I cut the lawn.
That's something I haven't started yet, but I've thought about it.
I definitely do now, and wear gloves, and I have a hard time watching people cut their lawn in flip-flops. Open-toed shoes, or barefoot is another one that just,
whether it be riding more or push more,
that just gets to me.
Yeah,
I just picture those toes going.
Well, quick story here before we go. Outdoor related. I was cutting grass when I was younger. This would have been before 1980 when we moved, because I remember the house it was in. It had a deep ditch and it had a little steep embankment that come up to the roadbed. And I was push mowing, and I had turned around and went down the hill, and I was going to come back and I was going to pull it back up because I was cutting that side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Seesawing it. And when I turned around to step, my foot slipped and went under the mowing deck, and wham. And my foot, got hit by the blade. And luckily I had tennis shoes on, and it hit it just at the end and took the end of the shoe out.
Holy mackerel.
And it's like Fred Flintstone. He went bink, 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 bink with the toes to make sure I had all five, And it hurt, but it didn't cut me. Thank goodness it didn't cut me. But yeah, it took the end of my shoe off.
Wow.
So yeah, word to the wise. Just wear the safety gear, wear your tree stand harness when you're in the tree stand. Your safe zone of fire. How many guys we know got muzzle blasted? Whether we're waterfowl hunting or whatever.
You're swinging that muzzle, know where you're swinging it too. Nope, I totally get it.
So, yeah, have fun out there in the outdoors, but take a half second to think before you do something.
Yep. And then don't go to Arizona and use a trail camera. You got to the end of the year.
Don't go to Arizona to use a trail camera. That just blows my mind. Ay.
It'll be interesting because next year at ATA, I'd like to stop it and see how this goes from here. If more states pick up on this or whatever happens, just to talk to the game camera people at the ATA. Say, hey, how's this going to affect you guys when the whole state now just bans it?
I wonder what the population, not that it matters, but I wonder what the population of hunters is in that state. They got a big game out. They hunt Coos deer, they hunt javelina.
They hunt elk.
They've got an elk range out there. So, there is big game out there to be had. So, it's not like, I shouldn't say Hawaii, but Hawaii, I know they got pigs to hunt down there. I don't know what else they've got to hunt. Probably birds as well. But you know what I'm saying? It's just, there's a plethora of big game and small game to hunt down there, and trail cams are used.
269,000 people hunt in Arizona each year, for a total of 2.6 million days are spent hunting in Arizona.
I wonder what Michigan deer season alone, we have probably close to 3 million tags, 300,000 tags sold. 300.
Well, let's see.
400,000 tags. I mean, now the actual kills are probably upwards of the 200,000, 700,000 hunters, but
Right?
that's all hunters. Is that tags sold or is that actual? They probably don't break it down that way. Tags sold versus actual hunters. Because I mean, I'll buy, 2 doe tags, a buck tag, and then a turkey tag, small game license. I mean, that I'll wind up with 5 or 6 licenses trapping.
You want to know people or tags?
I just wonder what that number was when it says 700,000 hunters. How do they break it down? But yeah.
So they said there was 751,000 deer hunting licenses.
Okay, there you go. So you put Arizona and Michigan together. That's a million. That's a million hunters. So and how many of those people use trail cams, and how many of them have multiple cameras? I mean, yeah, it's going to have a huge impact if this thing starts taking off across the United States, like so many things do.
So basically, what they do is they take a hunting license sold, and that's a licensed hunter.
Yeah.
So that's how they come up with the number.
So
That's how they break it down. So.
All right. Well.
All right. I think we've had a good show.
Yeah.
We put one together
On a 2-hour notice.
right?
But things happen.
It does. They all
People have emergencies.
And you know what? It was good to see Lincoln Roan on. I knew that first story would just kind of wind him up.
Yeah.
Good luck to Ron Moses out west. I don't know where you're headed to.
Safe
but
travels,
Be
buddy.
safe. Be safe going out. Be safe coming back.
Good comment tonight.
Absolutely.
Eric, thanks for tuning in and adding comments in as well.
Yeah, Adam Wynn was on too.
Adam's been fishing a lot lately. I've seen pics. So
Right? So, yeah. So,
next week
we got,
Ed Gramza from Base Map on.
and we'll be on Thursday night. We'll be back to our regular night
Yeah, and that'll be our last show
for 2 weeks.
for 2 weeks because 4th of July week we're not going to do a show because it's 4th of July week and we're traveling.
We're not going to be around.
So,
So.
but yeah, next week Base Map. We're going to be talking about new features on Base Map. And actually, I was using Base Map on our last 2 kayaking excursions.
Okay.
So doing some mapping and tracking with that and pretty cool stuff. So I'll try to grab some screen grabs from some of the stuff that I did, and we can kind of talk about that on the show as well. But
Sounds like a deal.
so, but Ed will be on with us from Wisconsin. So if everything goes correct.
Right.
So, all right. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it, man.
We try. We try to do a good show every week, in and out.
Sometimes it's a little discombobulated.
But thanks to Arizona,
We had something to talk about
and we
tonight.
got a soapbox out.
So, all right, for those of you on the podcast, if you would give us a like, follow, and share. Appreciate it if you guys share the show. Help us out. Helps our supporters out who support us. If you're listening over on iTunes, be sure to drop us a review over there. That helps us as well. So, we see you guys again next Thursday night. That'd be July 1st, I do believe.
Yes, that will be July 1. And Tom Gensel says, "Stay off my secret spot."
There you go. Stay out of my woods.
Good night, Ron Moses.
All right. So those y'all on the podcast, we'll see y'all again next week. Okay, guys, on the live stream, if you got any questions you want to throw at us real quick, we'll entertain a few things if you got them. Because I'm all packed and ready to roll.
All right.
So,
Let's.
what are you doing this weekend? Anything?
This weekend, I don't think anything is on the docket. We might visit the fair that's in town here in your wonderful city.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're having the Fireman's Memorial Park celebration. Yeah, big parade and all that kind of good
Oh,
stuff.
are they?
Yeah. Did you find the fairgrounds?
I did.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. A little carnival going on over there. So
Yeah.
we might do it because we're free in this state.
That's right. For those of you who are not in Michigan, those of us here, we're one of the last of the people that were quarantined.
We were number 50 out of 50.
Are you serious?
And I saw somebody post that we were the 50th
We're
state.
the last state to open up.
Yep.
So the furry slipper didn't come off until the very last one. Wow.
That's what I'm hearing.
I knew we were down the ranks, but I didn't know that every other state had opened up.
I didn't either, but
So everybody in the U.S. got free
even
before we did.
California beat us.
Wow, that blows my mind.
Right? I'm not surprised, but
Honestly, though, looking back at everything, I mean, we'll talk here for just a second about this, and this really doesn't have anything outdoor related, but, with the COVID and everything that was going on, was there anything that you were restricted from doing this last year and a half, that you were like, man, I can't believe I can't do that? Or were you able to get? Were you generally able to do what you wanted to do?
I guess the stretch where we couldn't even go out to eat. You could get takeout.
Yeah. That was the one thing I did kind of miss. Was being able to go out and sit down in a restaurant and eat. And I do remember when that opened up, that Nancy and I went out and specifically went to a place that she wanted to go to, and we had, I think it was dinner that night.
Right, and it was because like Erica and I will work the week and it'll be like, all right, what do you want to do? Well, let's go out. All right, to go actually physically go out, sit down with other people socially,
right,
and just be able to talk and just get out.
Yeah, it was quite a while before you went to your favorite establishment.
Absolutely. It was like...
Did they still have your parking spot set up for you?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
And...
Had your name on it?
Well, not yet. It will. But stuff like that, work-wise, I haven't stopped. I haven't gone back either. So... that's probably it was the social aspect of it.
We heard today we're officially bringing everybody back in. We're not going to be wide open, but for all workers and everything, we're back to schedules as normal, starting I think in 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's going to take a while to work them in.
Ron Moses, good one, Ron. I like that one. Concerts.
Yeah, concerts and ball games.
Yep.
I guess ball games. That was probably the one thing. It got to the point where I remember before baseball season, when this thing first hit, I was watching baseball in Taiwan.
Yes.
Online.
Yes.
Just to get a baseball game because there was nothing going on here in the States. And, they had the cardboard cutouts of people in the stands, and then it kind of followed over here to the States.
And my daughter wanted to go see Def Leppard, and I'm like, all right, we'll go. And that was at Comerica Park. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they canceled that.
Right.
I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
So
concerts, movies, ball games.
Anything with a crowd and social.
Yeah.
Is just...
I'm not a big concert goer per se, but, what I do, I have been to them, and it's like, yeah, I can understand that. Movies, I don't go a lot, but if there's something I want to see, I'd like to be able to go see it. But for the most part, during this whole thing, I pretty much did what I wanted to do, short of those big crowd things.
Yep, and that was pretty much it. That was the only thing, that little social. I totally feel sorry for all our school kids.
Absolutely. My daughter got robbed of her high school graduation.
And everything in between.
Yep.
From graduations back to sporting events to choir concerts to band concerts. It just got all robbed. And
in her first year of college.
Yep.
Everything's been virtual ever since last April. My youngest boy, Jake, he got robbed of his college graduation as well.
There you go.
So
yeah, I feel it's a shame.
Okay, so we're going to get a report from our race team this weekend?
Yes. I'll find out if he's racing.
All right.
Actually, I don't think he's racing. He's going down to his home state.
Okay. Well, we'll bring you updates as they come along.
I will get some updates. I'll get some action shots. We'll keep updated, see how it goes with Joe Jr.
I'm expecting those stickers that we give him to be wore off on that front bumper, because I want him doing a little rubbing. Earnhardt style, bumping
and running.
A little bumping and running, and a little, they used to say, rubbing's racing. So that's what I want to see.
Well, you know what? He's learning.
All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. We had a lot of good discussion tonight. I appreciate all y'all chiming in. Great conversation here tonight. Just be safe out there when you're on the roads, on the water, in the woods, whatever. So barbecue grills, the whole 9 yards. So we'll be back again next week talking with Ed Gramza about Basemap and the app that they got and all the new features on it. I'm telling you, I've used it for 2 years. Go check it out. They've got a free version, and get out there and play with it a little bit. It's pretty cool stuff. That'll do it for us this week. Don't forget to give us a like, follow, or share. And as always, just be safe while y'all are outdoors. We'll be back again next week. Y'all take care.